Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Now stop for a second and let that settle in, because if your thoughts dye your soul, then hers do the same. So the real question isn't, how do I catch her eye? It's how do I become the kind of man who lives in her mind, rent-free without even trying. This isn't about gimmicks. It's not about text message hacks. It's about presence, vibe, stillness that holds gravity. And here's the truth, when you master the core of Stoic principles, when you learn to lead yourself first, her attention follows. You won't need to chase it. It will be drawn to you. So, if you're tired of being overlooked, if you want her lying in bed wondering where you are and what you're doing, lean in. Because by the time we finish, you won't just understand women, you'll understand how to live inside her thoughts without lifting a finger. 1. Leave her with questions, not explanations. This one comes straight from the mind's own psychology. What the brain can't finish, it repeats. If you want her mind looping on you, don't give her the full script, just give her the trailer. Mystery isn't manipulation, it's precision. Most men blow it by oversharing, overposting, overexplaining. They think, if she knows everything, she'll stay interested. Wrong. That just gives her nothing left to discover. Her mind doesn't lock onto what it fully knows, it clings to what it can't solve, so you say less, and you do more. You show up fully but hold something back. If you're the man who has a quiet behind his smile, a deeper thought behind every line, she replays every moment with you like a scene from a film. It's not about being vague, it's about leaving space. Space that makes her feel there's more beneath the surface. Space that makes her ask, why did he pause right there? What did that look mean? That's when the replay button in her head gets hit, and it won't stop, because what you gave her wasn't just words, it was weight, it was presence. That's the essence of Stoicism. It doesn't shout, it echoes. 2. Build an aura of purpose. Nothing draws her in like a man with direction. Here's the part no one says out loud. She doesn't want to be the center of your world. She wants to orbit a man who has a world of his own. Purpose is primal. It signals that you're not waiting on love to complete you. You're already whole. And when you move with that energy, every step becomes deliberate. You don't reply because you're bored. You don't reschedule your life for her validation. You don't explain your every move like you owe her something. And what does she do? She notices, she wonders, she leans in, not because you're playing games, but because you're too locked in to play any. You attract because your focus isn't on her, it's on your mission. And here's the Stoic shift. Your purpose isn't performance for the world, it's personal discipline. You wake up and build. You train. You create. You don't just live. You become. And here's the paradox. The more you chase something higher than her, the more she chases to be part of your climb. So don't talk about what you're building, let her witness it. Because once she sees that fire in your eyes, she wants to stand in its heat. 3. Master emotional control, because her mind can't stop circling what it can't shake. Ever notice how some women obsess over the man who says little, but carries something in his walk? That's not arrogance, that's emotional gravity. That's Stoicism. The guy who spills his feelings everywhere, he's forgettable. The man who carries silence like it's a sword, that's who she remembers. She test, she pull back, she create chaos. And the man who holds stillness, he's the one who leaves the mark. This isn't about being cold, it's about being composed. The average guy thinks reacting proves he cares. What it really proves, that he lacks control. The Stoic doesn't react, he responds, he observes before he acts. He listens without needing to win. That pause, that silence, that calm, that's what makes her curious. That's what makes her think. And when she's thinking, you're already living rent-free. So hold your energy. Make her earn your attention. Let your silence speak. Control doesn't mean disconnection. It means you're the anchor when her world spins. Be that tan, she'll never forget the peace and intensity you brought. For be the calm in her chaos. Few men get this, but the ones who do, never leave her mind. She doesn't crave calm because she has it. She craves it because she doesn't. Her world is noise, group chats, social pressure, conflicting identities, emotional swings. You're where the noise stops. You don't interrupt. You don't outtalk her. You don't react when her emotions spike. You let the storm pass and you remain unmoved. That doesn't make you passive. It makes you rooted. You smile when it's needed. You speak when it matters. You listen with presence. And when she pushes, you don't push back. You absorb. You center. You hold your ground. That's power. That's the energy she associates with peace. And once she feels it, she can't unfeel it. You become the one she replays. Not because you fought her storm, but because you gave her calm she didn't know she needed. 5. Withdraw strategically. Let her miss the silence. Most men overstay. They smother. They linger. They think always. Being there keeps them relevant. Wrong. Desire is sharpened by absence. It thrives in the space between. So here's the Stoic play. Step back when things are good. Not as a test. Not as a trick. As a principle. You don't double text. You don't chase. You don't linger just to stay visible. You let your silence speak because your presence was so grounded that your absence leaves a shadow. And here's what the mind does with shadows. It fills them in. The brain remembers emotion, not sequence. So if she felt calm, attraction, tension, mystery, that's what she replays. That's what makes her check your story. That's what makes her scroll old messages. That's what makes her wonder, is he thinking about me? You're not being cold, you're being composed. In the space you leave behind, it becomes a mirror, where she sees what your presence truly meant. That's when you take up the most space in her mind. Right after you leave. Let's bring it full circle. Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When a woman can't stop thinking of you, it's not because of your words. It's because of who you were. You were the stillness she didn't expect, the mystery she couldn't decode, the calm she craved, the fire she couldn't dim. Now you live in her like a haunting melody, not loud but unforgettable. Don't. So before you send that next message, before you try that next line, ask yourself, are you becoming the kind of man who leaves an echo? Are you becoming the man who stains her thoughts without even speaking? If this stirred something deeper in you, if you're on that path of becoming unshakable, comment the word unwritten below, because your story isn't done and you hold the pen. And if you're ready to keep building, not for tricks, but transformation, subscribe to the Stoic Guide. Until next time, stay grounded, stay silent, and let your presence say what words never could.